All right, so you've probably seen this book everywhere. I'm talking about The Housemaid by Freida McFadden. It's basically taken over social media. And we're not just talking about a bestseller here. This thing is a full-blown viral phenomenon. So today, we're going to break down exactly what makes this thriller so addictive.
And the reactions, they're just insane. People aren't just saying, oh, it's good. No. They're saying it's the kind of story that gets so deep under your skin that you literally can't sleep after you finish it. I mean, that's the level of obsession we're dealing with here.
And it's not some small niche group of hands either. We are talking millions of readers. This book just spread like absolute wildfire, totally dominating bestseller lists and, every online conversation. So the big question is, how? How did one thriller become such a sensation? Okay, let's get right into it. We're going to look at that perfect storm of factors that really created this whole viral obsession. So this book's success is just a masterclass in the modern hype machine. Yeah, sure, it hit the traditional bestseller lists, Amazon, the New York Times, the whole shebang. But the real explosion? That happened on Book Talk. It was completely fueled by these raw, shocking, unfiltered reader reactions. Then you sprinkle in some rumors of a film adaptation and boom, you've got a book that is absolutely impossible to ignore. And listen, this is not a slow burn. Not at all. This book is designed to be devoured in one single sitting. The pacing is just relentless. It's that kind of story you start after dinner and you just don't put it down until you've hit that final page, probably blinking at your clock and realizing it's like 3 a.m. All right, so what's the story actually about? Let's get into the setup. And don't worry, no spoilers here, I promise. I just want you to feel that tension right from the get-go. So we meet our main character, Millie, and she's not your typical hero, not by a long shot. She's complex, she's got secrets, and a really troubled past that she is just desperate to run away from. And it's that desperation that makes her so vulnerable. It pushes her to take a job that, maybe she should. And that opportunity comes in the form of a job that just seems way too good to be true. A live-in housemaid for this wealthy, picture-perfect family. The house is gorgeous, the pay is amazing. It really seems like the exact fresh start she's been praying for. But you know where this is going, right? This is a thriller. Perfect is never what it seems, and almost immediately, Millie starts to sense that beneath the shiny, perfect surface of this home, something is deeply, dangerously wrong. Yeah, that dream job, it starts feeling a whole lot like a trap. And this setup is just classic for the genre. See, a psychological thriller isn't really about monsters jumping out of closets. It's about the war that's fought inside the characters' own heads. It's all about manipulation, doubt, and this creeping sense of suspense that makes you, the reader, question absolutely everyone and everything. Which brings us right to the heart of this book, the mind game. This isn't some simple whodunit. It's a relentless psychological battle where you, the reader, are kept just as off balance as the main character. At the center of it all are two incredibly powerful women. On one side, you've got Millie. She's the quiet observer, just trying to piece together what's going on, all while hiding her own past. And on the other side, you have Nina, the lady of the house. She's this unpredictable controller, her behavior is all over the place, and she's just deeply manipulative. Their dynamic? That's what drives pretty much all the tension in the story. And this really becomes the central question of the entire book. Is Nina just a troubled victim, caught up in her circumstances? Or is there something much darker, much more calculated going on behind her eyes? The story is always forcing you to reevaluate everything you think you know about her. And really, that is the question that just haunts every single page. The whole story is built on this foundation of complete distrust. It leaves you, the reader, constantly trying to figure out, okay, who's telling the truth here and who is the master manipulator? So what is it that makes this mind game so ridiculously addictive? Well, let's break down the book structure because there is an almost perfect formula at play here. It's a formula that is specifically designed to get you hooked and keep you there from start to finish. Okay, here's the formula. First up, ultra short chapters. This is genius because it creates that, just one more chapter loop that keeps you turning pages way past your bedtime. Second, it is jam-packed with constant twists that just completely flip what you think is happening on its head. Third, it's driven by those two incredibly strong, complex female characters we talked about. And finally, there's this pervasive, constant tension. That gut feeling that something really bad is right around the corner. And honestly, this is what The Housemaid is truly famous for. It has absolutely mastered the art of the plot twist. Just when you think you finally got it, you understand the story, you know who's who, bam! The author pulls the rug right out from under you, and everything you thought you knew completely changes.
Which, of course, brings us to the final verdict, the big question. Should you read it? Based on everything we've talked about, let's figure out if The Housemaid needs to be on your to-be-read list.
All right, let's break it down pretty simply. You should absolutely read this if you love fast-paced psychological thrillers and you just can't get enough of a good plot twist. If you're a fan of books like Gone Girl or The Silent Patient, yeah, this is 100% up your alley. On the flip side, you might want to skip it if you prefer slower, more literary stories, or if you're someone who gets uncomfortable with constant, high-stakes psychological tension. Ultimately, at the end of the day, The Housemaid is just a masterclass in deception. It's a story built on one simple, powerful idea. Nothing and no one is what it seems. The truth is always buried under layers and layers of secrets. Which leaves us with one last thing to think about. For those of you who have read it, and for those who are about to, you're forced to trust someone. So the real question is, who did you trust? And maybe more importantly, were you right?